The outback search for little Gus Lamont has been called off. After 7 painstaking days scouring the rugged landscape around the family's homestead, police now concede the 4-year-old may never be found.
Investigators stepped through his last known movements and collected evidence as a friend of the little boy's family made a public plea for an end to hurtful conspiracy theories about the 4-year-old's disappearance.
That may sound like a contradiction that one moment the search is called off and the next investigators arrive to collect evidence. But it's not. Searchers are not investigators. Searchers have a pretty simple job. Search the terrain. See if you see something. They may be given a map and told which areas are designated for them to search, right? Theirs to cover. But their job isn't to think critically about what they are doing. Investigators are there to think critically. And their presence often signals an accidental scenario is now less likely, but not impossible, as we saw in the Jay Slater disappearance. I want to respond to 2 comments covering the same idea. Not sure if it's a wedge-tail area, 4-year-old no problem, explain lack of tracks, etc. That's from Old Mad and Kiwi. Thanks for that. And Tracy Stammers, in rural South Australia, we have eagles that take lambs. Could that have happened here?
I got nightmares in my head, I fear thoughts build up until I can't feel. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science. So when I went to Adelaide and I was in the area, I visited Kangaroo Island. I know it's some distance south. But one of the predators you get in that area, I came into close contact with, the wedge-tailed eagle, quite an impressive bird. The wedge-tailed eagle, according to Wikipedia, is one of the world's most powerful avian predators. The female wedge-tailed eagle is one of the world's largest eagles, 33% larger than males. The largest wingspan ever verified for an eagle was for this species, 284 centimeters. That's 9 feet 4 inches. Bear in mind, most people are not much taller than 6 foot from head to toe, so that should give you an idea of just how big this bird is when it opens its wings. Although the wedge-tail is a true generalist, which hunts a wide range of prey, which also means it's an opportunist, including birds, reptiles, and rarely other taxa, the species is, by and large, this is important, a mammal predator. Additionally, wedge-tailed eagles often eat carrion, especially while young. Now, one of the areas we need to go into is we need to check whether there's any precedent for this sort of activity. Have eagles of this type ever kidnapped, taken small children? We'll get to that in a moment. Now, although historically heavily persecuted by humans through poisoning and shooting, mostly for alleged predation on sheep, and what are we dealing with here? A sheep farm. Wedge-tailed eagles have proved to be exceptionally resilient, and their numbers have quickly rebounded to being similar or even higher numbers than before European colonization. So it's not a rare predator in this area. They're actually very common. And this is thanks in part to humans inadvertently providing several food sources such as rabbits and a large volume of roadkill. Wedge-tailed eagles usually construct a large stick nest in an ample tree, normally the largest in a stand, and lay 1 to 4 eggs. Although typically only 2. Okay, and that brings us to this next area. Is there any precedent for these predators to snatch children? Well, what do you think? Have a look at this excerpt that actually made the news in America.
We're going to switch gears now, though, to a video that is going viral overnight. Wait till you see this. It appears to show an eagle swooping in and grabbing a baby and lifting the baby up for a few seconds. Don't worry, the baby is just fine, but it raises the question, is this real? ABC's Rob Nelson takes a closer look.
What do you think? Is what you're seeing real or fake?
Take a look at this video.
Oh.
Look again. Is that an eagle snatching a baby? In this video that has gone viral overnight, watch as this bird, thought to be a golden eagle in a park in Montreal, apparently trying to kidnap a child via airmail.
Now, before you say that was just a baby, well, here's a golden eagle attacking an 8-year-old. A golden eagle, by the way, is a species-wise cousin to the wedge-tail. This scenario, while admittedly quite far-fetched, would explain a lack of footprints. You do have to wonder what happened to that bird after this. Now, if a very large wedge-tail in the area took the boy, unlikely in my opinion, but possible, you would want to look for wedge-tail nests in the area. And this is what they look like. I want to quickly respond to Iran posted online criticizing the cops for apparently having double standards. This is according to the Daily Mail. Clinton Pryor, also known as Spirit Walker, demanded South Australian police explain why they had given up on Gus, who was last seen on September 27th. And this is what he wrote: "To everyone and to those who call off the search on little Gus, you need to have a good effing look at this photo and tell me why you chose to give up. You are not calling off the search for cop killer Desi Freeman, since he killed 2 cops, and that's more important than trying to find a 4-year-old child." Accused cop killer Desi Freeman vanished after allegedly shooting 2 police officers and then fleeing into rugged mountain terrain. I think that's very different. An adult who chooses to hide in the mountains is very different to a child, a 4-year-old who gets lost in the wild. He goes on to write, "You never call off the search on little Cleo Smith in Western Australia years back. The police went door to door smashing the area down to the ground to find her, and they did." Yes, they did, but it's also very different. A witness thought that Cleo was snatched from her tent and a vehicle was seen pulling away from the area late at night. You know, where you have legitimate signs of an abduction, you are going to have an ongoing investigation. We don't really have anything like that, certainly not so far in this case. He also wrote, "So why the FUSA police force and those who call off the search on a 4-year-old boy just give up like that? You all effing a-hole need to be ashamed of yourself giving up on this little angel." Well, they haven't called off the search. They've just changed the focus of the investigation. Investigators, as we have heard, replaced the searchers when they left the scene. Spirit Walker finishes by saying, "You left him out there to die or didn't take the next step on if he got kidnapped, and you only searched for him for only 1 week. Effing disgrace, blah, blah, blah." I do think the next week is critical. If he isn't found in the next 7 days, I think there's a real risk that he won't be found, or if he is, certainly not soon. But bodies do have a nasty habit of being found even years later, the Morphew case being a prime example. In any event, we will be monitoring this case for ongoing developments. Again, our thoughts are with the family, and we do hope that if the little boy is out there and still alive, that he's doing okay and will be found soon. Wherever you are, you know, if you've got shelter and food, appreciate it, because not everyone does. Take care, enjoy this weekend, and I'll see you guys next time.